All right, fun stuff on beginner fitness Reddit. Let's do this. Is 2 hours of exercise daily a good amount? Working out every day this week, bought an exercise machine. So 2 hours of exercise a day, honestly, like for most people, is probably a little too much. But if you're somebody who really likes to work out and you can recover from it and feel good the next day, by all means. I work out almost every day, about an hour ish, maybe an hour and 15, sometimes an hour and 30 each day. And I really like working out. So I would say if you are working out 2 hours of a day, if you want to, I should say, even maybe make it different stuff, as in you're not just going in and doing weights for 2 hours every single day. Maybe you're doing an hour of weights, 30 minutes of cardio, and then 30 minutes of stretching and mobility, or maybe have 2 hours of weights be on one day and then have like 2 hours of really light cardio. 2 hours of intense cardio would be absolutely killer. Switch it up though. Make sure your exercise routine is balanced because, 2 hours of exercise daily it's a good amount, but good amount means just it's a decent amount, and you definitely don't need to do that every day. For most people, literally probably 3 to 4 times a week, 1 to 2 hours in those 3 to 4 times a week is enough. But again, if you really like it, by all means, I'm not going to stop you. Do you have to take creatine every day? Well, here's the thing. You don't have to take creatine at all because your body naturally makes creatine. Creatine is a supplement that people usually take, creatine monohydrate as they mention here, people usually take to improve power and performance in your muscle building activities, specifically weight training. What it does is it pulls extra water into the muscle, which can help with just overall performance in the muscle. The thing about this is, though, your body makes about 1 gram a day naturally. You can supplement this to give yourself more of this, and there isn't any deleterious effects on your body, assuming you take the recommended dosages and you have just a general healthy body. Somebody with kidney issues, I wouldn't necessarily recommend this. Likely you need to increase your water intake quite a bit. And then I will say too, for myself, like I can't take creatine for whatever reason. It just doesn't jive well to me, and I always get really constipated when I take it. For some people, they have no problems, but for me, I've always had issues being constipated. So I look at like the draw, the waybacks, the drawing. Pros and cons, whatever. Pros and cons. Little mess there. But pros and cons with this is, for me, like the pro could be improved performance, but the con is I feel constipated and awful during my workouts. So maybe I lose some performance on not taking the supplement, but I don't feel like crap during my workouts. This is the same thing for people who are maybe really caffeine sensitive and they don't take pre-workout because they really don't need it and they're already kind of feeling good beforehand. It doesn't really make sense to force yourself to take a supplement if you already feel good doing your workout. Creatine can be that for you, but also, if you're going to take creatine, you should be taking it every day, about 3 to 5 grams. Navigating the love of food and fitness. Wow, this is relatable for a lot of us. Generally active, blah, blah, blah. Love food, love cooking, eating, consuming, blah, blah, blah. Good. Yep. I eat healthy most of the time. Okay, cool. Okay. This brings me both joy and stress, self-imposed, irrational body shaming included. I think this is the ticket to this question. You need to work on realizing we're human beings living in a time and a world where there is delicious food, but there is obviously a fine line. If you want to be feeling good all the time, eating these really high calorie, delicious foods, especially around holidays, probably aren't going to be the most good for you. I do this based off of strict feeling. Some people call it intuitive eating. So I eat pretty healthy most of the time, but literally every single night I eat some type of dessert. I have some like sugary cereal, almost like a dessert, and then usually some cookies and stuff with it too. But I don't eat it that much. And the second I start feeling slightly full or even borderline sick, I don't push myself to sickness, but sometimes if I feel that way after eating any food, I know I've overdone it. So it's really finding that sweet spot when I'm eating my foods, knowing that if I eat healthier foods, I'm going to fuel my workouts better, which is obviously great. But then at the same time, I'm still enjoying myself as a human being because there's so many delicious things out there. I just went to London 2 weeks ago, and if I was in the fitness mindset, I've changed a lot over the years, but if I was in the fitness mindset and I would have been like, yeah, I'm not going to try real fish and chips or this like really delicious shepherd's pie thing. Oh, I'm just craving thinking about it. I enjoyed that entire trip. I came back, literally looked at myself in the mirror, didn't even work out the entire week. I monitored myself. I didn't go super bingy on the trip. And I looked fine. I looked the exact same, and my body probably needed the rest and recovery. Yeah, so really just this guilt with food is the thing that kills people, because then you restrict harder the next day, and it's kind of this never-ending perpetual loop. And I used to be there, and the best thing that actually helped me with this is just to realizing I like food. We're human beings. I'm going to work out. I'm going to eat some quote-unquote not the best food and also pretty healthy food. It's all about balance, and if you feel good, and if you feel good, keep rolling with it. How do you train at home with limited equipment? Okay, this is a cool one, and throws me back to the pandemic days when I was doing gym workouts in my apartment. I actually built a wooden squat stand and then was doing squats in it was a 3-bedroom apartment. I turned one of the bedrooms into a gym, and basically one of the things I did, this is just spurring creativity. I filled a cooler with weights and started using the weights, doing cooler rows basically. I bought one of those pull-up bars that you can hang on a door frame and started doing pull-ups on a door frame, did dips on that as well. But if you don't even have that type of equipment, I highly recommend getting a pair of adjustable dumbbells. The ones I use are Power Block adjustable dumbbells. I have a couple different ones, but really cheap ones. They're $200. And they go from 3 pounds all the way up to 24 pounds, and they're adjustable. So it goes 3 pounds, 6 pounds, 9 pounds, all the way up to 24. So you have basically a bunch of different dumbbell variations. Realize that your stairs are actually a really good workout tool. You can do step-ups, you can do box jumps, you can run up and down the stairs, you can do elevated push-ups on the stairs. A backpack, you can fill that up and do squats holding it on your chest. You can do deadlifts where you're bending down, picking up the backpack off the ground. Find heavy stuff around your house and just move it around. Just move it around. There's also lots of good body weight programs online that have lunges, squats, yoga routines online you can find. Just honestly, if you look up a couple of those videos and even take some of my general advice, getting a dumbbell, maybe even some bands, some workout bands, resistance bands that you can tie to something and do rows and overhead press with those as well. There's so many things out there. Hopefully this gave you a few ideas. I'm just going to take a little bit of navigating online. Weird back pain I can't figure out. Okay, this is a good one. So, when people have pain in any type of their body, they immediately think that the worst thing that happened, bulging disc or torn muscle tendon, something really, really bad. And the thing I want to reiterate with pain is that pain is very, very psychological driven. As in, if you feel pain and notice the pain and worry about the pain, you are going to experience more pain. There have been numerous people, and this is why pain tolerance is so different, is because some people just don't give the pain attention. Some people, they notice it's there, but in all reality, they realize that the pain will likely go away at some point. This is especially true for chronic pain that has existed for a really long time. If it's really acute, sharp, and sudden pain, you hear pops or something, something might have gone wrong in all your different muscles we're talking about. But in all reality, this is probably somebody who's just had pain at some point. Maybe they tweaked their back and they've just been thinking about it. And if you think about it, it sounds crazy, guys, but psychology and your mind and body, they really, really work together. Your nerves will keep sending impulses there to either tighten the area or make it seem like there's more pain, when in all reality, there could be zero tissue damage at all. And most of the time, there is zero tissue damage. A lot of this pain goes away. What you can do about it and what I do about it is I just move around my workouts a little more gently. So if I'm experiencing back pain, I will still directly train my back, but I'm not going to be maxing out on that lift for whatever it is. If I'm doing deadlifts and my back really, really hurts that day, I will probably do very slow and controlled light deadlifts in a way that doesn't cause pain. Still moving, because I understand that getting blood flow to those tissues and those joints are what keep them healthy and strong and ultimately reduce pain over time. So this is what I'd recommend for you. I see it says they're doing a dumbbell hit routine, very high intensity. Might just need to cut it back a little bit too. Sometimes pain creeps up when your volume and intensity is way too high. Killer headache when squatting. Okay, last 2 times I squatted, end up with a terrible headache. What's happening? Well, you're dying. I'm just kidding. Definitely not. But the thing about headaches when squatting, usually this is from people breathing improperly, or it could be dehydration, or it could be a nutrition thing as well. So make sure you are eating enough. If you're somebody who's in a calorie deficit, you just might have headaches all the time because you're cutting too many calories. Dehydration, super big. If you're not drinking enough fluids, or at least eating enough foods that have a lot of water in them, you are not going to be feeling good and will probably get a headache before you even start squatting. Breathing. This is really where the magic happens, because if you think about it, when you breathe and you're holding your breath on a really heavy exercise like squats, you are holding all of that pressure usually through your body, but specifically in your head. So if that doesn't get released every time you say you hold your breath, go down, come up, and then you exhale, if you're not doing that, you will literally just keep holding that pressure in your head. And anytime you have lots of pressure in your head, literally a physical headache. I'd recommend breathing more consistently. A lot of people will hold their breath when they go down on a squat. You might even just not even do that. Literally just breathe in as you go down, breathe out as you go up. Breathe in as you go down, breathe out as you go up. That's what I would recommend. How can I add a couple exercises to make this more complete upper body routine? Most of my exercises right now is running, trying to improve my diet, and also add in a bit of strength. I've started doing push-ups, one-handed dumbbell curls 2 times a week. I do them during the workday whenever I pause. If I have a moment, I'll do 20 push-ups. All right, so this guy is literally doing just the show muscles was what we call it. So push-ups will work your shoulders, your chest, and your triceps. So your chest and shoulders are on the front of your body, and they're doing bicep curls. So biceps are also on the front of your body. So they're neglecting the entire back portion of their body. So what they could do for this is doing some rows, doing some pull-ups or pull-downs. Lat pull down machine, you might have seen that. A rowing machine where you take dumbbells or anything in front of you. Sometimes they'll be dangling down below with gravity, and you just pull them closer to your chest. Trying to think of some other exercises. Maybe doing some face pulls, so grabbing a cable and doing face pulls where you pull the cables to your body. Doing anything that works your back. Just type in back exercises into Google or YouTube, or even my channel. You can probably see a lot of good back exercises there. We're kind of neglecting the back all entirely, so that's essentially what we need to do. In addition to this too, they're only doing push-ups, so you could add in some extra weight stuff. Assuming you are starting to add in some like rows and exercises like that, you can add in weighted exercises where you're pushing. So I'm not saying neglect pushing exercises altogether. I'm just saying you want to have some balance. So doing some pulling movements where you're pulling stuff closer to your body, and then pushing movements instead of just push-ups. You could do bench press, you could do dumbbell bench, you could do overhead press. Adding in some weight for that too is a good idea.